genuine love, respect. I truly appreciate your time to the genuine ones only. Hope all is well in your end. Have a safe week. Protect your energy because not everybody deserving of your time. And I say that respectfully, not everybody is deserving your time. Domestic violence is something not to play with. It's your life. And I say that respectfully. You know, it don't matter what background a person came from, or if they had a two-family home and mother and father was present, or a guardian was present, or no one was present at all. You can never judge a book by its cover, and I say that respectfully. Because someone that's truly in tune with you and that's going to value your time and say what they mean, what they say, that they're actually willing to value and honor your time and show up for you and they mean what they say without wearing the mask of fake gaslight you, they're not going to bring hurt towards you. They're not going to bring pain towards you. They're not going to hurt you and abuse you and mistreat you. They're going to respect and honor you, and I say that respectfully. And it's sad that people judge a book by its cover, or would say to themselves, oh, well, they got both their parents in their life, and why would they be such that way? Like, why would they do such a thing? And their parents are such loving couples, and that was the book by its cover. And I say that respectfully. Because you'd be very surprised. Someone who had two parents in a household, or not at the end of the day, domestic violence still can appear in someone's life to have a hand problem, or to have controlling issues, or to be a narcissist. And I say that respectfully, regardless if it was a two-parent home or not. Never judge a book by its cover. Never allow someone to psych you out your eyesight, let alone your thought process or your freedom at the end of the day. And I say that respectfully. When someone displays at the end of the day that, hey, I was the one who hit someone, and they acknowledge that they hit someone in every relationship, what makes you think that you're better than somebody else, that they're not going to put their hands on you until the day comes till they put their hands on you? And I say that respectfully. Because they're going to not understand what the understanding of your thought process as to you said go and they told you to stop. They decided to have controlling issues towards you today. And you overlooked all the red flags within the red flags. Or you walked through a situation blindsided. I think those are the worst. I think those are the worst. To walk in a situation blindsided and thinking that you're so in tune with the person, the love of your life, to reevaluate your life and say to yourself is, you know what? This is not what I signed up for. I didn't sign up for someone to manipulate my character. I didn't sign up for someone to disrespect me. I didn't sign up for someone to be a narcissist towards me. I didn't sign up for someone to pick and choose when they're going to have a hand problem today. I didn't sign up for that. I didn't sign up for someone to come into my life to allow me to feel unworthy of myself. I didn't sign up for someone to come into my life to allow me to feel like I was supposed to give up on myself. Being depression, anxiety, PTSD, you put a name to your book, any sickness. Because it becomes a sickness within a sickness of you making yourself sick because of a projection someone's putting on you. You know, when you're dealing with depression, it starts to do more things within your body. It starts to trigger you. You know, panic attacks, something that you never experienced before until you got into a relationship with that person. Trying to calm yourself down, you're not knowing how to calm yourself down. Because all you keep doing is reliving that moment of someone actually disrespecting you. When they took your kindness and weakness and out, that's not the energy you display to them. You know, regardless to your sexual orientation, nothing, they don't matter about your sexual orientation. Because men and female have hand problems, not all. But these are things that they hide. Because they have controlling issues. They don't want you around your family so they can control the narrative of your life. That's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. That's not love. That's nowhere near love. And I say that respectfully. Someone telling you when and where to how to show up for yourself in a toxic way. Not in a healthy way, but a toxic way, an unstable way, telling you what to do, trying to control you. It's one thing being in a relationship and motivating each other and guiding each other in a healthy way. It's a difference. Know the difference. Know your worth. It's a difference between someone wanting to motivate you and show you that there are better days ahead in a healthy way. To be your peace and your balance in the most healthiest way. Than to someone to come into your life and show you toxic behavior on top of dysfunctional behavior. Something that you're not used to. It's something that you know that it's not for you. And I say that respectfully. Love is not supposed to hurt. I don't know who told you that. Love is not supposed to hurt. Love is not supposed to make you feel like someone punching you in your face when they feel like you're a punching bag is the norm. And then you have excuses for that person saying, well, they got anger management problems. So you supposed to be a punching bag? No, you're not. No, you're not. Not even a little bit. And I say that respectfully. Oh, someone was having a misunderstanding self-day with themselves, so they came in the house, or they came in and disrespected me in the most toxic way to allow you to feel unworthy of yourself, to question yourself. That's not healthy. That's not love. And maybe you have experienced these type of behaviors as you was growing up, and you thought it was the norm, and you allowed it to play in your day-to-day life. That's not the norm, and it's not funny, and it's not cute until someone hurts you. You sitting there laughing the first time, like, okay, well, you played it off. But how many times are you going to be someone's punching bag? How many times are you going to allow someone to make you feel like you're going to suck yourself out your freedom or your thought process? Because you know what happens? You put yourself in a situation where you can't get yourself out of. And I say that respectfully. Because what happens in today's society is when the police is called to someone's home, too many times, they take both of your asses down. Now you really regrouping your life. That's love. It's for someone to suck you out your freedom, your thought process, your eyesight in your pockets. Because they wanted to put their hands on you. And they manipulated your character and said that you was the cause and effect to why they put their hands on you, and asked to why you sit in that jail cell today. And you reevaluating your thought process because it became the norm to you for someone to control you and manipulate you. And you're reevaluating your thought process as you regroup and getting yourself together and saying to yourself, hold on, wait. Why would this person paint this narrative as a description that this wasn't truly me? So they can make themselves feel better for a better outcome on their behalf. You see where the brainwashers start to become the brainwashing now? It's not healthy. Now you're becoming unstable for yourself to show up for yourself because you're thinking it's the norm when it was never the norm. Regardless to what trauma you was endured as a child, going into your adulthood, and I say this respectfully, maybe being sexually assaulted as a child, dealing with domestic violence, dealing with discrimination, dealing with sicknesses, dysfunctional family, things went into your adulthood, trauma on top of trauma. You are not deserving of someone disrespecting you. You are not deserving of someone putting their hands on you when they feel like it. You're not deserving of that. And I say that respectfully. Because what happens now is, one day, someone is going to hit somebody, or maybe someone's going to hit someone out of self-defense, and it's going to be a situation where you're not going to be able to return back to sender, to be your best self vision of yourself ever again. Because now you just psyched your own self out your own freedom, when you could have walked away. All because you was trying to defend yourself, and you had to protect yourself. But sometimes, in some cases, ain't nobody going to believe you. Because they're going to look at you like, why you keep going back to that person if you know they had a problem within a problem of a hand problem, controlling issues, and they was a narcissist. And you're reevaluating your thought process in a cell, saying to yourself, is that I was just trying to defend myself, and I don't have nobody to believe me today. When everybody was trying to show me to go to show up for myself, and I was going against them. Now you're reevaluating your thought process in that cell. An innocent person who was just trying to defend themselves. But the judge ain't gonna see that. Because the judge is gonna look at you what they're looking at you and saying you is, why you didn't walk away? Why you didn't walk away? And why did you lie on the police reports? When the police came to your homes and asked you if you was okay, why did you lie? You know, certain things are confidential. They supposed to be confidential. And I say that respectfully. But it's sad that they're not. When it comes to people, private information, that's supposed to be protected. You know, when an officer comes out to protect and serve, what happened to protecting and serving people and protecting people information? It'd be the thought process of me. Because who's going to take someone serious if you don't take yourself serious? And then the first thing you say is, oh, well, we got kids in common. What that got to do with anything? If anything, you're traumatizing your own kids. You're disrespecting yourself and you're disrespecting your own kids. And I say that respectfully, to allow the abuse to continue to go on, to stop your self-growth from showing up for your own children. And I say that respectfully because you have to deal with narcissist behavior, someone abusing you and disrespecting you when they feel like it, and then they start to disrespect and abuse your children too. Maybe not physically, but verbally, and maybe not verbally, but emotionally. You see how that goes? Wow. And then these children see that this is the norm of the norm. And then they become older. And then they start to act out. Because they thought it was the norm because their guardian showed them that it was okay to stay in these type of situations. You know, it's sad to see that a lot of females or men stay in situations because it became the norm. And it's not the norm. To be in an unhealthy, unstable relationship because of the norm. And it was never the norm. It was never the norm. And I say that respectfully. And then people quick to point out, okay, well, my childhood, I don't know what love was. I don't know. Let me tell you something. And I say this respectfully. If you can sit here and acknowledge somebody time and day and say that you're so in tune with trying to get in tune with somebody, you know what love is. You do. But you just don't know how to show up for it. Because you're not used to it. So because you came in encounter with someone who doesn't know how to value your time, let alone you know how to value their time, it's not gonna make sense. Because you don't have the authentic self-awareness when it comes to self-love, loving yourself. And I say that respectfully. You're supposed to protect your children from these type of behaviors, the dysfunctional, the hand problems and all of this stuff. You're supposed to protect your children from that. How could you protect your children from that when you can't even protect yourself from that? But you're quick to sit here and bring the next person down, though, that's trying to show up for themselves because you don't know how to show up for yourself. Or because someone knows how to love and someone knows how to be their authentic self in the most healthiest way. You want to sit there and sneak diss somebody because why? You're miserable. And you don't know what true love is. And because somebody knows what true love is and they know their worth. And you're miserable and you're hate in disguise. You bring negative energy towards an innocent person. It be the thought process to me. All because of the fact that someone is showing you that they don't know how to value your time and show up for you in the most healthiest way. Don't be a hate in disguise because of something that you don't know how to do. Is love. It's the thought process for me. And I say that respectfully. Because that's what happens. A projection being projected on innocent people because of the fact that someone's in a miserable mindset as to what they thought was love. And when someone comes in front of them, a real couple or authentic, genuine people, without wearing the mask and fake gaslight themselves to show you at the end of the day what true love looks like up close in person, that's the fairy tale you want. That's your ending. A happy ending. But you would never be able to identify what a happy ending looks like at the end of the day because you're a hate in disguise and you don't want to go within and do the healing. It's the thought process, me. When your neighbor will be motivating you to get out your situation and show you that there are better days ahead and true love is real with the right one that's truly for you. That someone is going to mean what they say and say what they mean, that they're real with themselves in a healthy way to show up for themselves and have healthy balance within themselves and be aware of themselves. To come into someone's life and mean what they say, that they're here to honor and value that person's time. Be that person's peace in the most healthiest way. You know, everybody's not in the same predicament that you're in. And I say that respectfully. Not everybody's like you. The controlling narcissist. The one who wants to be in these type of situations. Some people outgrow these mindsets. And I say that respectfully. But some people don't. Of that toxic of the norm when it was never the norm. When it comes to that type of behavior, when it comes to someone showing you love. Someone comes into your life, and I say this respectfully, wearing a mask, trying to psych you out your thought process, allowing your freedom, your pockets, and your eyesight at the end of the day. They always had intentions. And their intentions was never good. They was waiting for you to become vulnerable. They was waiting for something to happen within your life so they can have controlling issues towards you. They was waiting for that very moment to see you weak. They was waiting for that very moment to prey on you. And as soon as they knew they couldn't do so, that's when they have you in a cornered to control you. And if you feel like that's love, you got another thing coming, because that's not love at all. And I say that respectfully. Someone trying to feed you poison, it's not love. Someone to psych you out your freedom, your thought process, your pockets, and your eyesight, it's not love. Someone allowing you to feel not to be around your folks or whatever the case may be because they have controlling issues, that's not love. It's not love. They don't want you to display their characteristic traits to other people, because then when you start to think for yourself, you start to analyze and say to yourself, that's not love. It's not. Dealing with abuse. How is that love? How? How is that possible love? It'd be the thought process of me how someone will start talking to you the first few months or the first few years or whatever. They seem so in tune with you. Like when you start to talk to somebody, them stages never end. And I say that respectfully. Them stages never end. That's a forever love. One of a kind of a love. Somebody that don't switch up for you, fake gaslight you, wearing the mask and trying to tune into you. And I say that respectfully. That's someone actually showing you like, look, I'm not here to switch up on you. Someone that's actually in tune with you, because not everybody's for you. Because some people get into relationships and they be hate in disguise and they come into your life for all the wrong reasons to benefit all for you and to psych you out your freedom, your thought process, your eyesight, and have third-party conversations within third-party conversations and allow you to believe that it was the norm. Nah, it was not the norm. Especially when you acknowledge that you're a one-person person. But they had other plans. They wanted you and other people. Why are you depressed for? Why are you dealing with sicknesses now? Someone projected negative energy towards you now because they decided to go out and deal with a third-party conversation. Now they came home and gave you something, and now you reevaluate your life, saying to yourself is, you ain't dealing with nobody. Why this person keep doing this to you? And all you keep doing is giving you your all. You do everything right for showing up for that relationship, everything right. But they don't know how to love you. And you don't know how to love yourself either. Because if you knew your value, your self-worth, you'll walk away from it. Some people feel like, okay, well, I don't got no money to walk away from somebody at the end of the day. Let me tell you something, when you got God in your life, walking away was the best decision you can do. Because God is a provider. And God's going to show up for you when you call on God. And I say that respectfully. It's a thought process to me. How people believe that it's the norm to be in an unhealthy, unstable relationship, to be unstable with themselves. Or then you get into situations where someone got you on drugs. That's love? Oh my God. Someone wanting to feed you poison. Someone wanting to feed you poison. Something that you never was even introduced to until you came across this person. Until the day when you can't even recognize yourself anymore. Because it happens. Not all relationships. They not knowing that a person drug's a choice, that person starts to do the same drug too. And then they both become toxic with them becoming toxic, because when the funds are not available for them to show for themselves, they start to fight each other. Because one person is more controlling than the other. And one got more common sense than the next. But didn't have enough common sense to say, you know what, that ain't for me. That drug of choice ain't for me. Just to make somebody feel comfortable. And that's not love. Something that's going to hurt you in the long run it's not love. It's not. You know, when it comes to hate crimes and stuff like that, like, it's disgusting. It really is disgusting. It's disgusting. And I say that respectfully. People get into relationships and someone decides to pull their energy away, or someone feels like someone's about to leave them, or because they know that that person had enough of enough. They want to sit there and psych them out their freedom, or because they got controlling issues. Domestic violence is for nobody, and I say that respectfully. It's for nobody, and it's truly for no innocent person, especially children, for them to see that this is the norm. And I say that respectfully. Because now what happens is you have a fair chance now. You may have one set of kids that may decide to go a different route, the good route. Then you have those who go the wrong route. Because of a projection that was being projected on them that it was the norm. And then you have some kids that have common sense to know at the end of the day, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to be my parents. I don't want to be my guardians. The ones who have common sense. It don't make sense how the child has more common sense than the parents. How does that work? To know that something is not right. You know what's more sad to see and disgusting to see? A child having to witness their guardian having someone putting their hands on them, and they have to go defend their guardian, stop their guardian from fighting, getting the other person off their guardian. You know how traumatizing that is? How long that will live in a child's mindset? You can't just tell that baby to get over it. No, 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 no. You can't do that. That's disrespectful, and I say that respectfully. Because that's trauma that you allowed to display. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. That's trauma. And especially if it was overlooked, that's trauma. It's certain things that we're not supposed to allow to just be overlooked when it comes to children at the end of the day. And I say that respectfully, when it comes to trauma. Because what happens is it goes into their adulthood and they think is the norm. Or not if they think is the norm, they're still coping with the fact that just really just happened. Imagine somebody trying to paint a narrative as to it didn't happen, but it did. You know the narcissist mind games that child has to adjust now with, that someone's playing with their thought process after what they saw. Seeing their guardians being hurt, seeing their guardians say stop. I thought when someone says stop, get off of me, get away from me, they mean what they say. Stop and get away. You don't just continue to just disrespect. It's the thought process of me. I think the most saddest story I think I heard so far is knowing that a child can come from an environment, regardless of what the environment is, and you just have dysfunctional folks. You know, they appear in other areas so well, but they lack other areas. Because it happens. It happens. They lack other areas in their life. It happens. And because they lack certain areas of their life, or whatever the case may be, what you see on the outside, never judge a book by its cover. Never judge a book by its cover. Imagine a child asking for help because their parents or their guardians being hurt. Authorities get to the location. Authorities get to the location and they reevaluate the situation and say, what's going on? And both idiots say nothing. So the officer is explaining as to, you know, there's a domestic dispute going on over here. Everybody's talking about it, not just the baby, but everybody, because they could hear. Now the authorities leave. After they just said nothing's going on, right? So the one who's the aggressive, it doesn't matter if it's the female or the man. It doesn't matter your sexual orientation at the end of the day, and I say this respectfully. Because this happens, and it's sad that this happens. Now someone decides to psych the whole entire family of their freedom. Because now they feel like someone's going to walk away. And it's sick, and it's sad. Or if they don't psych the whole family of their freedom, they psych the victim out their freedom. Oh, because they knew that that person's going to walk away. When is enough going to be enough? A person is saying, I can't allow my children to keep seeing me like this. How am I supposed to show up for my children? I can't keep lying to myself. I can't keep manipulating the situation knowing what's going on. And they reevaluate their thought process saying they lying to their own kids. And that's not how they raising their kids. That's not how they want to raise their kids. You know how it feels to try to explain to your child an excuse of your behavior? That's the most uncomfortable big conversation that you're going to have. The most uncomfortable conversation you're going to have. Because in their thought process is going to be registering as to, why you think this is cool? Why is this okay? Why is it okay that I have to see you hurt? Why is it okay that I have to see you in pain? Why is it okay that I have to keep picking you up? Because sometimes this happens. You know, kids are not stupid. They're not. Kids are not stupid. They're the most smartest little people around, regardless of how old they are. You're a child, you're a child. And I say that respectfully. Domestic violence is something not to play with. It's not. Because that could be your one last conversation that you're having with somebody when you least expect it. Or because someone has controlling issues. And like I said, it doesn't matter about your sexual orientation at the end of the day. It does not. It don't. Someone having a hand problem, someone having a mindset that they can control you at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if your sexual orientation. It don't. And it's not healthy, it is not cute, and it's not attractive at the end of the day. Because now it's a toxic projection being put on your thought process and really allowing you to believe it's the norm when you're having certain conversations with people at the end of the day. And they looking at you what they're looking at you at the end of the day like, yo, what are you talking about? You don't even make sense. It sounds like somebody's controlling you. Who are you scared of? Because sometimes you can tell when someone's in a domestic violence dispute with someone. And I say that respectfully, without them even saying anything to you. And it's sad, because they're so scared. And they don't know how to walk away. They don't. Because it became the norm. Some individuals feel like they don't want to be by themselves. What? See, that's the problem with people today. You say you love yourself so much, right? How do you possibly love yourself so much if you allowing yourself to feel like that? That's not loving yourself. You don't even have self-awareness for yourself in the most unhealthy way. In a healthy way. You have it in an unhealthy way. You have self-awareness in an unhealthy way. You're not even aware of yourself. And I say that respectfully. It's not the norm to allow someone to project this thought process on your mindset. That is okay for them to control you. It's not healthy, it's not healthy, it's not healthy at all. It's not. It's not healthy. You know, people feel like because they was with a person for so long and they don't want to start all over, they're scared to start all over. No need to be scared to start all over. As long as you know you're starting all over with yourself. To have self-awareness in a healthy way, to have self-love for yourself, to know what self-love looks like, because evidently you don't know what self-love is. Because if you knew what self-love is, at the end of the day, and I say this respectfully, you would know your worth. You would. You would know that reevaluating your thought process and showing up for yourself was part of your plan, God's plan, to better days ahead. I don't understand why people get so wrapped up in the fact that they're not gonna find somebody else, or they've been with the person for so long they don't want to start all over. They rather just deal with it. You walking away, you saving yourself. You acknowledging yourself. You can grow to have self-love for yourself, to know your self-worth. Know your self-value at the end of the day. And I say that respectfully. You know, these tools that God installed within us: self-awareness, self-respect, self-healing, self-peace, self-control, self-discipline, self-confidence, self-care, self-value, self-love, self-worth, self-patience, healthy boundaries, healthy balance. So you can tune into who you are. So you'll be able to elevate and understand who you are. To have balance within balance and showing up for yourself. And I say that respectfully. Because when you don't have the proper awareness within yourself, you put yourself in situations where you're going in circles of finding yourself. and thinking is the norm to be in these unhealthy relationships. And I say that respectfully, because you're deserving of being in a relationship with someone, or just being by yourself and being in a healthy mindset. And I say that respectfully, without someone trying to project negative energy on you, without someone allowing you to cut yourself, shortchange yourself. And I say that respectfully, because you matter, you are worthy. You are. You are. But when you overlook yourself, how can you see for yourself? It ain't gonna make sense to yourself. You know, domestic violence is nothing to play with. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. Someone having controlling issues, disrespecting you, having third-party conversations, bringing you back STDs, getting people pregnant on you, and disrespecting you when they feel like it, and saying they gonna stop and they not stopping. And listen, the first time they put their hands on you, they gonna do it again. Because when you say that you're not going to do something again, you mean what you say, and you say what you mean. Because there are individuals who do have reevaluating their thought process days. They do. They got to reevaluate their whole life. Because I saw it happen before. They had to reevaluate their life and say to themselves, you know, what the hell going on here? They put their hands on somebody within the spirit of the moment, now realizing, wait, hold on. Wait, what am I doing? How can I say I love you and I put my hands on you? And they really had to find themselves. That first and that last time was the first and last time they ever put their hands on anybody moving forward. And they meant what they say. But some people are not like that. And those people who do such a thing, they have moments within their moments. Maybe their childhood or a moment in their life where they blacked out. And because they blacked out, what triggered them was a childhood memory. Not just a childhood memory, but something that happened in their life. And they was just acting out as to whatever happened to them. And they knew they was wrong once they reevaluated their thought process. And the communication, when it came to the person that they was talking to, they wasn't one side. They was being very transparent as to what transpired, wasn't transpiring. And they meant what they said, and they said what they meant, that they would never do it again. Because there are people out there who never did it again. That first, it took that one time for it to happen, to put their hands on somebody, and they never did it again. But then you have individuals who have controlling issues, who don't know what one time mean. All they know is sorry, 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 sorry. I won't disrespect you again. But they all they keep doing is just showing up disrespecting you. Or then you got some people who don't know how to control their substance abuse problems. And when they start to drink, they're a totally different person. And then they start to become abusive and disrespectful. And they start to have this hand problem and this controlling problem at the end of the day. Everything's not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. If you got to pick up a drink and it's going to make you come out of character and putting your hands on somebody that you say you love, you shouldn't be drinking. Because when you understand the sign, when they walk away from you, you got to understand the consequences that come behind it at the end of the day, that you're not for them. You're not part of that journey. And I say that respectfully. That's not love. That's not. You waking up the next day, the person that you say you love, they got a black eye, bust a lip, and you reevaluating your thought process saying, here's the whole fizz. What happened to you? And they looking at you with them looking at you and say, I'm done with you. Enough is enough. Because enough is enough. Enough is enough. Until the day someone actually puts hands on you at the end of the day, for you to understand, leave innocent people alone. It's sad and disgusting to see that a man, right, or even a woman. It'd be the thought process for me. How they prey on certain people, right? But when a man steps to them, they ain't try to throw them hands. They like, nah, chill, bro. Like, first of all, ain't nobody your bro. That's first and foremost. Second of all, why you putting your hands on my neighbor? It's the thought process of me, regardless as a family member or not at the end of the day. That's still a human being. And they reevaluate their thought process saying to them, like, look, that's not what's up. That's not the norm. And they asking them like, yo, fight me. They want to square up with this person now. They calling them out on their behavior. And when someone get called out on their behavior, they don't like that. They don't like that. And especially when another man approaches another man at the end of the day, that man that's about that life, that's really about that life, or you like punching women in their face, or you like beating women up, oh yeah, you like doing that? You like hurting women? You like hurting women with, you like taking your car and running up on people and hitting people with your car? Because this is the stuff that's becoming the norm nowadays, and it's not the norm. And I say that respectfully. It goes on every single day. It doesn't matter what neighborhood you're from. And I say that respectfully. People are weird. So they saying to them like, yo, fight me. First thing homeboy want to say is, nah, I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to fight you. I don't got no problem with you. You do have a problem with me. Why you have a problem with me? Because you think it's okay for you to put your hands on innocent people at the end of the day. Someone that doesn't have malicious intention to bring harm towards you. They just want to love you. And you don't understand what love looks like up close in person when someone's trying to value your time. They scared to fight. But then when they walk away, they got so much stuff to say. They talking so much junk. I think the most disgusting thing that I ever saw in my life, is to walk in the street, right? This young man was walking. He said he had a little thing on him and all that. When you know, you know. But he ain't have no weapons on him or whatever the case may be, right? He ain't have nothing on him. He was a sucker. He walking down a block. When I say literally walking down the block, broad daylight, just punching this lady in her face multiple times. Just punching her in her face. I'm like, the cops is at the next corner. They see everything. Because once he gets to that corner, he gonna be surprised with them being surprised. Nobody gotta call nobody or nobody. But it's a thought process to me. How he's walking from one corner to the next corner, pulling this young lady's hair, and he's screaming from the top of his lungs, looking for attention, saying, if anybody touch me, I'm going to hurt you. Oh yeah? You know, some people got time today. And I say that respectfully. Some people don't want to get involved with that type of toxic behavior. But when you come across a real man at the end of the day, a real man is not going to allow you to disrespect his neighbor, because that could be his sister, his daughter, his loved one at the end of the day. And I say that respectfully. A real man is not going to see another man disrespect another woman in front of his presence. And I say that respectfully. No real man is going to see that. You think you tough? I'm going to show you what tough looks like. Regardless of your sexual orientation, your culture at the end of the day, a real man that don't play about his community is going to step up and show you what a real man looks like. And he doesn't have no fear within him. So that day, a real man stepped up to the plate and dragged him the same way he was dragging her. Oh, you tough? I'm not going to put hands on you, but I'm going to drag you on this concrete, and I'm going to show you what time I'm on today. I ain't going to put hands on you. I'm going to drag you. The same way you dragging her by her hair, I'm going to drag you on this ground. When homeboy got up off that ground, you saw bumps, but on bumps, on top of bumps, mouth blood and all types of stuff. You would have thought that man beat the crap out of him. No, the ground did. The ground did. And he lucky he was able to see another day. And I say that respectfully. Because some people are not deserving of their day and time to see daylight. They're not. And it's really unhealthy to see that when you're in a domestic dispute with someone and you're going to ask for help, and I say this respectfully, Leave the abuser alone. Don't manipulate a system that's trying to help you. And I say that respectfully because there's a lot of that going on. Don't manipulate a system that's trying to help you. Don't do that. Because you're stopping another innocent person from getting the services that they truly need, and they're trying to escape the person that's bringing harm towards them. It's not cute and it's not attractive at all. Domestic violence is something not to play with, because you mess around one day and you're psyching yourself out your own freedom. Or one day you're going to be reevaluating your thought process, and I see you somewhere with a loss of chain of thought. And you're going to still say that's love? Nah, that ain't love. That's nowhere near love. That's not love, not even a little bit. And I say that respectfully. That's not love. It's not. That is not love. That's not love. That is not love. Keep your hands, keep your feet, keep your elbows, keep your head. Keep your teeth. Keep your knee pads, all that to yourself. Leave innocent people alone. If you don't know what love is, if you don't know how to love yourself, you should not be in a relationship. You should not. You should not. You should not. That's the part of the problem with today's society today. You don't love yourself. You don't have the proper self-awareness. And it be the main ones sitting here fake gaslighting people, act like they so in love with themselves. They respect themselves in the most healthiest way. They have self-awareness, and they put on this mask at the end of the day, and they don't. Because if you did, you would know your self-value at the end of the day. You would know how to honor and respect yourself. So when someone comes into your life, that behavior is not what it is. Because when you see a red flag for what it is, you run. And it doesn't matter what trauma you was endured within you from a child point of view going into your adulthood. That is not love. It's not love. It's not. Not even a little bit. And I say that respectfully. It's not love. And to have an excuse as to, oh, well, my parents didn't show me how to love. My parents didn't love me. Listen, them excuses, it really needs to stop. It really do. Because if you could sit here and entertain certain things within your life to show up for yourself, and you only have step it when it comes to certain things in your life, you really need to reevaluate your thought process. And I say that respectfully. Because you should not be half-stepping when it comes to loving yourself. But you showing up for all other areas in your life when it comes to negative stuff, though. You know how to entertain negative stuff, but you don't know how to love yourself. You see how when you become your own worst enemy? When an enemy walks into your life and allows you to believe that's just the norm, when it never was the norm. It's a thought process for me. It's unhealthy. It really is. It's unhealthy. It truly is unhealthy. You know, when someone comes into your life and wants to honor, respect, and value your time and love themselves and don't have controlling issues in a toxic way, and they just want to be at peace in a healthy way and show you what balance is in a healthy relationship without wearing a mask to fake gaslight you, true love is real with the right one that's truly for you. Someone who's going to sit here and manipulate your character. Someone who's going to sit here and try to play you close because they have controlling issues and they trying to run up on you, whatever the case may be. That ain't love. They sit there trying to figure you out for months at a time to see how they're going to portray, how they're going to pursue you. Just to get into your head to brainwash you. That's not love. To use and abuse you. That is not love. That's not love. It's not. When it comes to healing, it's not easy. It's not. And if you feel like You don't know what love looks like up close in person. I say that respectfully. Or you think you know what it is, and you don't know. You're not 100% sure. Love yourself first to be at peace by yourself. And I say that respectfully. Because what you're not going to deal with once you start to love yourself is dealing with people who's not going to value your time. If you know how to value your time in a healthy way, you're not going to deal with people who's not going to value your time in a healthy way. You're not going to deal with someone disrespecting you because you know how to respect yourself. If you know how to respect yourself, you're not dealing with disrespect. You're not dealing with the narcissist behavior, with the mind games. You're not dealing with it. And I say that respectfully. At the end of the day, like I said, this page is not for everybody, and that's okay. But true love is real with the right one that's truly for you. And someone that's trying to bring that toxic behavior towards you and allow you to believe it's the norm, it's not the norm. Nah, it's not. And stop trying to cut stop shortchanging your children if you have children. And I say that respectfully. Stop shortchanging your children. Because they saw what they saw. And trauma is real. And you're projecting your trauma on your child. That's not healthy. And then you still continue to be around this abuser. And you're showing your child that this is the norm of the behavior. Regardless if it's physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. That's not love. I don't understand why people keep saying this is norm, this is the norm of the norm. No, it's not. It's not the norm. Oh, couples go through stuff. Listen, it's the mindset for me. The ignorancy of years of to come, of a generation curse that needs to be broken because the enemy allows you to believe this was the norm. The enemy really allows you to believe this was the norm, and it was never the norm. It was never the norm. To be in an unhealthy relationship. Why are you in a relationship with someone who's making you feel unworthy of yourself? And you shortchanging yourself because you can't even show up for yourself. Is that love? And yes, that's not even loving yourself. How are you shortchanging yourself at the end of the day? It's not gonna make sense. And when you go within to do the healing, regardless to what trauma was endured with you from a child point of view, going to see adulthood, you gotta mean what you say and be real with yourself. You can't have one foot in one door, one foot in the other door, fake gaslighting yourself. It's not gonna make sense. To understand your awareness within yourself, to understand the tools that God installed within you to become your best self vision of yourself. You know, no need to be a hate in disguise because you see your neighbor in a healthy relationship. Because that's where you want to be. But you don't know how to show for yourself to get there. To understand your worth. And I say that respectfully. It's a thought process to me. Like, leave innocent people alone if you have controlling issues. Leave innocent people alone if you love to have a hand problem. If you that type of person that loves to play the narcissist mind games, try to cite somebody their freedom or their thought process or their eyesight and their pockets and they leave innocent people alone if you have hidden agendas at the end of the day and your attention is not genuine. Leave people alone. And I mean genuine when it comes to genuinely meaning what you say when you want to value someone's time in a healthy way, not in a toxic way. That's not love. Know your worth. Protect your children. Protect yourself. Don't become your worst enemy at the end of the day because someone's having a misunderstanding self-day with themselves. And stop making excuses for these folks. It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. It really is. It's unhealthy. You keep making excuses for somebody, you only shortchanging yourself. And there's going to be that day where you're going to be reevaluating your life, saying to yourself is, you know what? God is still patient with me. Not only is God still patient with me, but I was able to walk away. It had to take for me to get to this day right here for me to walk away. It's not healthy. Love ain't supposed to hurt. It's not. And I say that respectfully. God said there are better days ahead, and you deserve to be within those process of those better days. And actually showing up for yourself in a healthy way, to have self-awareness, to identify who you are when you look at your reflection of yourself, to get in tune to who you are, to actually love yourself and know your self-value, know your self-worth. Because you know what? When you sit there and say to yourself, ain't nobody gonna want you, ain't nobody gonna be with you, whatever the case may be, because of you coming from coming out of a relationship and someone showing that you wasn't worthy of yourself, someone allowed you to feel like you was ugly and nobody gonna ever want you, or they called you fat and all this and the third. Nah, somebody gonna love you one day, but you gotta tune into who you are to know your worth. And I say that respectfully, because you are worthy and you do matter. It's the thought process for me. God never gave up on you. God never overlooked you. But you know, how you know God is working in your favor at the end of the day when you overlook yourself. You know, you hurt your own self with your own words, going against your own self. You ain't gonna be able to show up for yourself today. It be the thought process of me. You saying you're looking for love in all the wrong places, and you identifying who you are today. You know what love is. That wasn't love. That toxic behavior don't live here today. Reevaluating your thought process, going in within to do the proper healing, understanding that the trauma that you experience, God said there are better days ahead. Going within to do the proper healing, to show up for yourself today. Misguided, misled, they ain't know how to love you, but you know how to love yourself today. Your energy hit different. When you tune into the self, when you tune into yourself, to look at your reflection of yourself, to honor yourself, to respect yourself, wow, you are beautiful. Wow, you can show up for yourself in the most healthiest way. To tune into yourself, to respect yourself. Because when you respect yourself, you would genuinely have someone come into your life to respect you for who you truly are without the pain and the trauma. Your energy hit different. You know, when God was paying attention to you, God always said, God was patient with your process. But for order God to be patient with your process, you got to understand God's assignment for you. That you got to be patient with yourself. To understand that coming from your dark days, stepping into the light of your light, because you are the light of your life. Yeah, the sun shines bright on you today. Having the awareness within yourself to shine the light within, to understand loving yourself as part of the plan. Days when you didn't know how to find peace within, now you're showing up for yourself today. That energy had different. Showing up for yourself, wow, with an even exchange. Not hurting yourself for words. That pain don't live here today. Yeah, that energy had different. Tune into yourself in the most healthiest way. That was always part of God's plan for you to elevate in the most healthiest way. You know, because God will send genuine people into your life that's going to genuinely love you. God will send genuine people into your life that's going to genuinely respect you for who you truly are, not play the narcissist mind games, the manipulation mind games, psychotic thought process, only your friend, your pockets, your eyesight. Nah, that don't live here today. When it comes to trauma and pain, you matter, and you are worthy, and God is good. God's protection for every direction. Choosing your best self vision of yourself is always part of God's plan. Be patient with your process, because God is still patient with you. Just because someone gave up on you, don't give up on yourself. Just because someone overlooked you, don't give up on yourself. You are genuinely loved by all the right people. You are genuinely respected by all the right people. And you deserve to be treated with respect. 365 days with no malicious intentions to bring harm towards yourself or others around you. Protect your energy, because not everybody's deserving your time. And I say that respectfully. They're not. And it's okay. Not everybody's meant to be part of your journey. They're not. But when you learn the valuable lesson within the lesson of walking away from pain and someone trying to play mind manipulation games with you today, that energy hit different for showing up for yourself. I'm proud of you, because you matter and you are worthy. It's not easy walking away from being a victim. It's not. But choosing your best self vision of yourself is a blessing in disguise, because you chose you, and you matter and you are worthy. Never allow a hate in disguise or personal malicious intentions psych you out your thought process, or your freedom, or your pockets, or your eyesight. But God's protection for every direction. Protect your energy, because not everybody's serving your time. I truly appreciate your time to the genuine ones only. Love yourself, with God's protection for every direction. Love yourself, love yourself. Love yourself, with God's protection for every direction. Love yourself. God is good. God is good, God is good. Like I said, this page is not for everybody. So leave your negative comments for your mama. It's the thought process of me. Have a good day. Have a safe week. I truly appreciate your time to the genuine ones only. Naya, genuine love, respect. Gotta go.